right-hander or right to a left-hander. When they do that, then you can say it's not a wide. I think he still remained a left-hander.
Oh, it's got past. Despairing dive of Shane Thomas.
West Indies just have too many fielders that they try to hide. He's big, he's strong, but not very athletic. And he's not the only one in this team that has to be hidden somewhere in the field.
He's got one wicket, but not a lot of luck today, Brathwaite. I think it's fair to say 164 for 2.
What makes us human?
Welcome, Benedict.
Hello, MG. MG Hector. It's a human thing.
पता है लास्ट मैच में क्या कैच था यार
मेरे में तो नहीं दिख रहा
पता है जो तेरा इंटरेस्ट है ना वही दिखेगा
गूगल ऐप पे टैप कीजिए और सर्च बार के नीचे आपका जो इंटरेस्ट है वो अपने आप दिखेगा पता है आज फ्लाइट डिलेड है
और मैच भी
The situation as it stands now, Smith, it seems as if the West Indies are trying to get through as many overs as they possibly can, for as little runs as they possibly can, instead of looking to take a wicket. Not saying neither of these two bowlers can get a wicket, but none of them are strike bowlers. I think the West Indies need to bring back one of their strike bowlers and try and get a wicket, not just depend on Afghanistan giving them a wicket.
Problem he's got is he's got to mix and mingle. It hasn't worked for Fabian Allen today. It's not to say you can't bring him back. 3 overs, none for 26. He's got one eye on the run rate required, and also in the back of his mind is the fact that Afghanistan haven't done this before, really. Certainly haven't won a World Cup game against a test-playing nation.
There is that reverse sweep again, not a switch hit, a reverse sweep where the hands on the bat don't alter. The bottom hand still remains the bottom hand.
They're skipping through them very quickly, all right. 32 gone now, 167 for 2.
It's nice to see kids watch and learn. Disney Baiju's Early Learn app. Download now for classes 1 to 3, for classes 4 to 12.
बोलिए सर, परफ्यूम स्प्रे में नया क्या है?
ब्रांडेड दिखाऊं या कुछ रेगुलर चलेगा?
रेगुलर नहीं, ब्रांडेड.
थोड़ा प्रीमियम चलेगा?
ब्रांडेड प्रीमियम.
आपके लिए नया फॉग मास्टर, हर परफ्यूम एक से बढ़कर एक.
मस्त है.
और क्या चाहिए?
फॉग मास्टर परफ्यूम बॉडी स्प्रे, हर परफ्यूम एक से बढ़कर एक.
Run rate required has just crept over the 8 mark for the first time. 8.06. That helps the cause. That is a good strike. Really good. Pure.
Specialist bowler, where are you? Pressure relieved immediately. First ball of the over 6 runs. Can look for a few singles now if he's thinking about the game.
the slot. Perfectly struck. Oh, they'll get another one. What is happening out there? The West Indies might be just starting to feel us a wee bit. Kemar Roach this time.
Ikram playing a fantastic innings here. Oops. Slippery soap.
Cottrell is good enough to get that. Or is he? All sorts of weird stuff happening in the outfield. '81 now, Ikram. So Holder himself now dropping down. He's front of the screen there. He'll go back down to long off. So there's no sweeper protecting on the offside square. .12 from the Braithwaite over. 180 for 2.
छोटे छोटे लम्हों का अनोखा सफर, कमला पसंद, अनोखा स्वाद।
डब्बे ना फेंकने की हमारी परंपरा है। ठीक तो है, क्योंकि हर सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट रखे नोकिया को अंदर से नया। ये चले आज बेटर, कल और भी बेहतर।
They're having fun, and I think they believe there's a great chance here for their side. Just keep their heads. Remember, they haven't been able to do this in this World Cup. That's been their problem. Number of games they've got themselves into winning situations and not followed through. You've got a chance here today.
Chris Dale doing exactly what he has been asked to do. Keep things tight. That's why you need a specialist bowler from the other end to try and take a wicket. 4-dot balls.
Still the West Indies 71% favourites. It's 182 for 2. It's goodbye from Mikey. And there's 34 overs gone here at Headingley. Drinks time.
हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हुए नहीं कि बिल का मीटर चालू। ये मीटर तेजी से आपकी सारी सेविंग्स खत्म कर देगा। तो आज ही policybazaar.com पे जाओ, 5 लाख का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लो सिर्फ 500 रुपए महीने।
और जनाब क्या चल रहा है?
हिंदुस्तान में तो फॉग चल रहा है।
सोचिए मत, क्योंकि बिना गैस वाला फॉग ही है इंडिया का नंबर 1 परफ्यूम बॉडी स्प्रे।
एक अच्छे बॉस को हमेशा अपने स्टाफ को खुश रखना ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। काम का क्या है? काम तो होता रहता है।
आक्रमण! अब कोई नहीं बचेगा। ये ले, तेरी मौत निश्चित है। ये ले,
जिंदे लाही।
Hotstar Specials presents The Office. 50% chill, 60% chill. Now streaming.
जब वो जुबान पे केसर और जोश दिलाओगे तो इंडिया खेलेगा अपने ही अंदाज से। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Simba, you must remember who you are. The one true king.
क्या कबड्डी देख रहा है यार?
अरे मत ना यार, इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है।
इसमें क्या पॉइंट है? ये देख इधर।
अरे साइड।
कबड्डी 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 कबड्डी। पॉइंट्स की सख्त जरूरत है राहुल चौधरी को। पूरी टीम का भार इनके कंधों पर। अपना तगड़ा कर ले, पंगे की तैयारी। पूरे 6 पॉइंट की रेड।
पॉइंट समझा क्या?
देखा?
Vivo Pro Kabaddi starts 20th July. Only on the Star Sports Network and Hotstar. इससे tough कुछ नहीं.
Today, and Afghanistan putting up a good run chase so far, 182 for 2. Got a mammoth total though to chase down, 312 thereafter. But so far it's looking good. So let's go to magic moments as we do, and it's Afghanistan beating the West Indies in the World Cup qualifiers.
Chapter in the history of Afghanistan's cricket. They've qualified for the World Cup.
Champions of this ICC Cricket World Cup qualified.
Fantastic. What a scene with Chris Gale partying with them. The thrill of it all. And Mohammad Shahzad. 84 off 93. We got there comfortably in the end. And that's why we're seeing them play against a side they've had the wood on in the last few times. The West Indies have gone down to Afghanistan. They'd know that, and they would be looking at the scoreboard maybe a little nervously. They know there's a long road to travel in a run chase like this, but they're still on track. And another win, Afghanistan, in the last 10 overs, Sanj.
Impressive, really impressive from Afghanistan. Got the impression that maybe they'll just look to bat out and look for individual scores, that the required rate is still hovering around 8 is good sign, just 16 overs left. And Ikram Ali Khail is a real story for Afghanistan. I mentioned earlier, 3 times he's batted in number 9 in his short career, and today he's got 83, and it doesn't look like a freakish kind of an innings, a fluke. He looks like he's got the ability to repeat this.
Yeah, it has been interesting because it's been a lot of mistimed shots, but he's been busy. At the moment, he really did race out there, but the last 10 overs, this is what we've witnessed. And very good half century to the 18-year-old. Then Cottrell in the deep, safe. No, it wasn't. We've seen the best catch and probably the worst drop. And there's Chris Gale snavelling one. And Najib back live. Ooh, fends it away just. That was nasty from Cottrell.
Very decisive footwork with Ikram. This is now Najib. They're just surprised with the short delivery, didn't expect it. In the end, it was just fending, and that's when you want luck to be on your side. Went where there was no field. It's a Cottrell now in the second spell. Another thing to like about Ikram Ali Khail is he's got the shots, obviously, of front foot, back foot. But the moment he hits the ball, he's looking for runs. Just like you, Slats. I remember he used to always look for runs. The moment you played the ball, like all Australian batsmen in that time. So he knows what his main duty is to get runs.
Well, that's a big swing across the line, trying to up the ante. I think you've got examples, haven't you, throughout this World Cup, like your Dave Warners, Virat Kohli, guys who come out with such intensity that their first ball is up to speed, meaning that they're moving with real life in those legs and feet. It doesn't take them any time to get into the innings. And that's what he's possessed today, because the 18-year-old has come off a 24 of 66 deliveries. And so that's the education. He's come out and he's taken maybe a different energy. He's thought, well, if I'm not playing the big shots, I'm rotating the strike, and that's crucial. And he was able to do that in a big, big partnership. He's the fourth youngest as an 18-year-old to get a half-century in World Cup history. Even Sachin Tendulkar didn't achieve that.
Careful, Slats. We've got a few Indian viewers watching this game.
Just a few, I'd say. 187 for 2.
इस टेबल पे ना स्पीड की कोई लिमिट है, ना सोचने का टाइम, क्योंकि यहाँ प्लेयर्स हैं इतने फास्ट कि उनके अगेंस्ट तो सिर्फ वही खेल सकते हैं। अल्टीमेट टेबल टेनिस, यहाँ लेवल अलग है। देखिए 25 जुलाई से सिर्फ स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और हॉटस्टार पर।
Interesting when you look at his career numbers, talking about Ikram Ali Khail. Mention about him batting at number 9 3 times, but when you look at his first class record, his average is pretty decent in the mid-30s. 11 matches, he's got 100. So I guess as Afghanistan plays more and more of international cricket, start understanding their culture a bit, the way they think about their cricket. I just wonder whether a young player has to just go through the bottom to up in the hierarchy or the food chain of that Afghanistan team, because somebody who averages 30s, mid-30s, batting at number 9 is hard to understand, and today's shown that much more able player than the positions that he's got a few times in his international career.
Does it line up? Chris Gale gets a wicket. Nigel Long, it's the finger of death. He was absolutely obsessed with that sweep shot for a while.
Should review it. Yeah, it's a big wicket.
A review for LBW. Can I have a front foot, please? Yep, fair delivery. Can I front on, please? Spin vision. Can't see me any back there. Can you rock and roll that for me? Yes, old dredge for me now, please. Old dredge coming, Nigel. Is it the floor there? Roll it through again for me, please, where that spike is on the floor. Yeah, roll it right through to the pad. I'm happy there's no bat there. It's got a ball tracking, please. Coming now, Nigel. Pitching in line, impact in line, and hitting the wickets. We go back on field, please. Nigel, you're on screen. Can stick with the decision of out, please.
So well done, Nigel Long. You saw the appeal of Chris Gale. He knew he had the man. It wasn't really appealing. It was more half appeal, half knowing that the batsman is out. Celebration as well. People rise to their feet. What an innings from Ikram Ali Khail. 86 of 93. They found a top-order batsman for the long term. Afghanistan invested him, give him the long rope. He'll serve you well, Afghanistan. 189 for 3.
Give it the best of you. You want to make it large? It starts with you. Make it.
Seagram's Royal Stag Mega Music. It's your life. Make it large.
Chris Gale, he gets the breakthrough of the 18-year-old. What an innings it was. Now Askar is out there. And he's 31 years of age, and this run chase not over yet. They've still got wickets. They've got Nabi to come. It's an average of 22.8. Needs to be every bit of that and more. This is where things can change very quickly in a run chase. And Chris Gale is not helped out there. Behind square, that's a misfield. Hit hard, yeah, but a misfield.
Yeah, that's poor. Chris Gale was going for the Yorker. You don't normally see him upset on the field. You can see they was just firing in that full-length delivery, anticipating the sweep shot which the batsman played. What should have been a dot ball is 4.
Oh, extraordinary that this is his 6th over, 1 for 25. Should have been 1 for 21 just now, but Chris Gale was saying off air that he's got the cricket brain, hasn't he? He's got the nous, he knows what he's doing. Knew exactly how he wanted to get Ikram out, and total acknowledgement, as you were saying, Sanjay, for a youngster who needs to be nurtured now in that Afghanistan system. They're the future.
Absolutely, and stick with them. Chris Gale has run a long way, and this could be out. Seems like it. The batsman almost continuing his run to the pavilion. He started actually walking.
Yeah, well, I'll give this run out to Chris Gale because he put the pressure on that second run. Because he darted in the follow-through at the ball, it created utter confusion. And we might say he's 39, and at times, look at him. He sets this up. And then the throw was there. Perfect. And things changing quickly all of a sudden in favour of the West Indies. 194 for 4.
Soft choco crab in a generous blend of exotic hazelnut and cocoa. Milano Choco and Hazelnut Cookies. Barley Platina, range of exotic premium products.
ज्यादातर लोगों को खराब क्रेडिट स्कोर की वजह से लोन नहीं मिलता है। पैसाबाजार.com पे फ्री में अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक करो। कम है तो ठीक करो, ठीक है तो चिल करो। पैसाबाजार.com।
जब वो जुबान पे केसर और जोश दिलोगे तो इंडिया खेलेगा अपने ही अंदाज से। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Mohammad Nabi. He's been a big player throughout the tournament. He's been a big player for a long time at 34. Okay, the average isn't there, strike rate, but he's a hitter. Don't you worry about that. He can be hard to contain, but Chris Gale at the moment, he's not going to be contained there. It's leg side wide, but he's had a pretty good couple of overs, Chris Gale. Oh, that was slow, just floated up there. No, don't make the same mistake again. 14 overs remaining, 196 for 4.
इस मैच के लिए हो जाओ तैयार। पाकिस्तान वर्सेस बांग्लादेश। डेडलाइन tomorrow 3 p.m.
Make your team now.
Only on Dream 11.
ਹੁਣ ਹਰ ਓਵਰ ਰਾਈਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਨਸ ਬਣਾਓ ਤੇ ਰਿਵਾਰਡ ਪਾਓ। ਇਸ ਵਾਰੀ ਫੈਨਸ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ ਹੈ।
The character that he is.
He's been around for a long time. Chris Gayle made his debut at the international level in 2000. So he's around for 19 years. So he knows exactly what's happening. And you highlighted that point beautifully, Slats, about him just going in the direction. And so that batsman who was at the batting end at the time was blinded to an extent. And then, as you said, created the confusion. Is Gayle very close to the ball? What's happening there? The doubt created that little stoppage. The non-strike was committed, which was Najib. He was gone.
Yeah, well, he doesn't often sprint like that, but he knew why he was doing it. And he was able to close it in. Now is at short cover.
And then that leg before as well. I mean, the way he appealed for this one shows Chris Gayle's complete understanding of the game. Now, this was a sweep shot. Review was taken, and this was not an appeal. It was just about, okay, give him out. He's gone. The ball was hitting middle and leg. So people tend to forget. They look at him and they think he's a T20 Tonka. He's played over 100 test matches. Average of 42. Close to 300 one-day internationals. And this is just sort of his last phase of his cricket career.
Yeah, and he turns it on when he needs to as well. I'll never forget a tour to Australia. He was playing the test matches. He was captain. He was questioned as to his commitment to test cricket at the time. And he might have made a comment that, listen, I'll go off at the end of what is coming to an end, a test career, and play T20. And people saying, well, you keep playing for your country, you keep playing test cricket. But everyone forgot he'd played 100 test matches. He's a great servant of the West Indies game. And guess what? This was running into that Adelaide test match, and he peels off 100. He dug in. It was a test match innings. And he had something to prove, and he was able just to turn it on. Well, who is Chris Gayle?
How do you describe Chris Gayle? I like how you say that because, you have Chris Gayle, you have the universe boss, you have Gale Force. But Chris Gayle is more calm, relaxed, fun-going person. Keep things very simple, to be honest with you. That's what Chris Gayle is about.
There you go, third person. Chris Gayle talking about Chris Gayle.
Yeah, over 100 test matches. 2 triple hundreds. One against Sri Lanka, one against South Africa. He's got a double 100 there as well. So he's been a top-class test player. And people say that's the ultimate test. He's passed that as well. Now he's just having some fun.
Down the ground, it'll take some stopping. Should get there, though. $200 up. Yeah, so you talk about the triple hundreds in Test cricket, the double 100 in one-day cricket, the 100 in international T20 cricket. He's done it all. And he'll keep going for a while longer. There he goes, go big fella. Look at the pace. Oh, he got to 25, 26k an hour there. I'll tell you what, those hamstrings were on the tilt. They were on the limit.
I guess there was a bit of vested interest in that sprint. Because he was bowling. He was saving runs of his own bowling. Cheeky. Mr. Chris Gayle, 201 for 4.
इस टेबल पे ना स्पीड की कोई लिमिट है, ना सोचने का टाइम, क्योंकि यहाँ प्लेयर्स हैं इतने फास्ट कि उनके अगेंस्ट तो सिर्फ वही खेल सकते हैं। अल्टीमेट टेबल टेनिस, यहाँ लेवल अलग है। देखिए 25 जुलाई से सिर्फ स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और हॉटस्टार पर।
Well, the perm's coming back. All sorts of colours as well. Something about fake hair in cricketers.
And commentators. You won't mention who.
Yeah. Well, I'm coming back with Bon Jovi style next year.
Really?
Yeah. It's time, I think. So Roach is coming back into the attack. He's got 4 overs remaining. He's got one maiden there, 1 for 27. Got the early breakthrough. He was able to get that wicket in the first over. Another mix-up. Shinwari, Rashid, Majib. Getting into the last roll of the dice in terms of partnerships capable of going at the rate of knots required now. It's 8.65 from here.
Mohammad Nabi is a good batsman, good cricketer. Almost won a game for his side against India at Southampton. He's got a beautiful temperament, very calm. Even in that pressure run chase against India, which was a real nail biter, he looks so calm. He's got some dangerous shots. That's why, a dangerous player.
No, I think you could surmise the Afghan fielding as poor at times. I think there's been some examples of that in the West Indies side as well. Moments that could have been cleaner and better, more secure. Always makes it a lot harder when there are mistakes being made. Just means you've got to create more chances then. There's a lot of misses. Back live. And a chance for a catch. No mistake there. Should not have been a mistake.
Good moment to take a good catch just after he was shown a poor fielding package. And this is again good bowling from Kimar Roach, taking the pace off. Seen thousands of wickets fall in the last week to the slow ball. Mohammad Nabi, I guess, looking at the required rate, had no choice but to go after it. That's Fabian Allen taking that catch. Who was that? So Nabi's gone for 2, it's 201 for 5.
Sometimes work calls unexpectedly.
Really?
Another ride? From RF Nilo Grip Easy Ride. Make every ride an easy ride.
क्या कबड्डी देख रहा है यार?
अरे मत ना यार, इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है।
इसमें क्या पॉइंट है? ये देख इधर।
अरे साइड में। कबड्डी 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 कबड्डी।
पॉइंट्स की सख्त जरूरत है राहुल चौधरी को। पूरी टीम का भार इनके कंधों पर।
अपना टुकड़ा कर ले, पंगे की तैयारी।
पूरे 6 पॉइंट की रेड।
पॉइंट समझा क्या?
देखा?
Vivo Pro Kabaddi starts 20th July. Only on the Star Sports Network and Hotstar. इससे tough कुछ नहीं.
Shinwari with a very difficult task in hand now. Asgar's been out there for 7 balls, he's 8. And now a new batsman, and West Indies just amp it up. You just can amp it up. So it was... The West Indies have scored 1-1-1 in the final 10. Well, that's what Afghanistan need now. And it's the 38th over. Fabian Allen was as secure as you like.
Just watching that attempt to hit a big shot, I think all batsmen watching this game and just playing in matches in the last week would be thinking about it's brilliant, plus 12 in the field, Fabian Allen. Be thinking about the short option to that slow delivery, hit into the pitch or maybe bowl fuller. And I guess it's just about waiting for the ball to come, and then after that, all muscle, I guess. 201 for 5.
Message from Neha. Sorry guys, we are stuck at work. Can't come for dinner tonight.
Alexa, play party music.
Not in the mood. Alexa, dim the lights.
Amazon Echo. Just ask.
It's been a good atmosphere. We've seen a load of kids today, which has been fabulous. They've come from all the local schools. There's been a good chance for the West Indies, good chance for Afghanistan as well. Cottrell now, he'll start his 7th over. It's a minor short one every now and then. He's got cover for the short one. Roach's figures look good now, 2 for 27.
Yes, so let's help me with this. This is now Mohammad Nabi. He's got a slow ball from Kemar Roach. He wants to hit big, but obviously not enough pace for him to get under the ball to get the power. Now, this is something seamers will do virtually, I think, to the end of the tournament, because the pitches are likely to be like this. And batting second, more balls like this.
There's one. This time he gets hold of it. He takes it very square. He got himself into a real low pouncing position. That's how you play it.
Exactly. On cue. Now, this is an exhibition, a demonstration of how to hit a very slow delivery from a fast bowler. That was 107 kilometers per hour. Waited and waited. And then it's got to be just muscle. Timing won't do it because you get no pace from the bowler. Has he got it? Well done.
And cuts one away, no third man. His guys come out and he's rocketing, 18 from 11. They need 100 from here.
Well, he averages in the 20s, striker in the 70s, so this is slightly unexpected. This is the former captain. Formerly Asghar Stanikzai, now Asghar Afghan. Slightly quicker delivery, 130 kilometers per hour, so using the pace of the bowler. But boy, what a smash that was off that slow ball. So he's shown some of the other batsmen in the tournament how to tackle with the slow deliveries from the seam bowlers. Goes right back, waits and waits, and meets the ball under his eye, and then a real smack of the ball. And great catch.
Slow ball again. He's gone wide of off stump this time, which not as risky because where the 4 was placed in the offside behind point, the man has gone back. And 2 men up behind square now. Yeah, it should be 2. They're flying through. Good running. There's a real urgency. There needs to be.
Good spot, really. I mean, the spirit is back. And as I said, urgency, intensity now. They believe that they have a chance at this one. The required rate is under 9 now, 8.78. Thanks to Asghar Afghan, who's come in and he's brought purpose along with himself. Nabi fell, one of their big hitters. Last wicket to fall. Said batsman is out, but as far as he's concerned, the fight is on.
Well, we know, Sanjay, that if we were talking about a T20 and we're in a sort of phase, it's 5 wickets down's the problem, but we'd be saying 2 good overs and they're back on track. 215 for 5.
It's lovely when kids engage and learn. Disney Baiju's Early Learn app. Download now. For classes 1 to 3. For classes 4 to 12.
पंगा लेने का मौसम आ रहा है. ले पंगा.
Vivo Pro Kabaddi starts 20th July, only on the Star Sports Network and Hotstar. Isse tough kuch nahi.
To knock 111 runs, and that's why you'll see that line really shooting up from 40 to 50.
So after that sprint, Chris Gayle has taken a bit of a break.
Tight hammies. Job done.
Yep.
Another massage. That was his preparation this morning. So Roach 2 for 27. He has been hard to handle. Cottrell has gone for 43. So we haven't seen him salute today. We'll still get an opportunity. But I've been impressed by Roach. His length. And now his change up. He's got the slower ball going. You mentioned the slower ball. It's imperative. I mean, all cricket playing nations, you need that variation. It can't be predictable. The length has to change. You maybe need two different slower balls, and then you use a seam up and a little bit more pace. But I think for someone like Nabi to try and collect something over extra cover before facing more than 10 balls was a difficult task. And it's very easy to get that first attempt wrong.
Again, Kemar Roach using the slow ball. We've seen Jasprit Bumrah as well in the last match use the slow ball more than anything in his final overs. This is the thing about England. The weather just holds up enough. You get so many flavors of one-day cricket. When it started, it was about seam ball moving around, batsmen taking their time in the first 10 overs, protecting wickets. Now the death overs are becoming bigger. The first 10 also, the run rate increasing. Different pitches, start of the tournament, different pitches now. And you've got to say in the subcontinent, you don't have too many weather interruptions, but it's more or less the same. Generally flat pitches, fast outways, small grounds.
Yeah, I was talking to Mikey Holding earlier in the day about as the temperature gets hotter and there's more sun in England as to what the ground staff do in the way of moisture into the pitch to keep it a little bit green, because it dries out so quickly over here. If there is rain, it rains very quickly, it's gone, and there's not a lot of moisture when the sun is shining. So the thought is in England to keep a lot of moisture, to keep it a little bit fresh and a bit green, to keep the pace up for longer. I think if it gets too dry, some of these pitches, you're going to see the ball really slow up and batting become more difficult as the game goes on. But if that's the case, that's where batsmen have to adjust.
The only problem that I have with the kind of pitches that we're seeing is the toss becomes so crucial. Taking no credit away from England, they've been superb, but they've also batted first in those two crunch games against India and New Zealand. The team chasing in an equally matched sort of contest is greatly hampered to lose the toss because of the slowness in the pitch. Just gets exaggerated second time round. 10 overs left, 220 for 5.
इस टेबल पे ना स्पीड की कोई लिमिट है, ना सोचने का टाइम, क्योंकि यहाँ प्लेयर्स हैं इतने फास्ट कि उनके अगेंस्ट तो सिर्फ वही खेल सकते हैं। अल्टीमेट टेबल टेनिस, यहाँ लेवल अलग है। देखिए 25 जुलाई से सिर्फ स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और हॉटस्टार पर।
So final 10, 92. If that said 80, you'd say really doable. 92, under 100 in the last 10 is doable. West Indies scored 111 in the last 10. Such was the power hitting. Brathwaite at the end. You had Puran. Absolutely sensational. Holder. So 92.
bat. The score of 49 as his highest.
Well, it's been hit well. It'll quicken up over the carpet there. Good fielding. Yeah, good teamwork. Man to escort the ball back. Good cricket all round.
+2. Carlos Brathwaite, the man. This find is incredible. Big man sprinting across the turf. The hardest thing to do is then get down on the ball like that. Wow. It's a good strike.
He's a big man, isn't he? Carlos Brathwaite, and he's got that big score a couple of games ago, which was great. Now that's a wide. That works for Afghanistan. They've got to make the most of the extra one. It's always a feel, isn't it? It's always just getting a couple of big ones away and being able to roll with that. Feeling a bowler is hittable. Feeling that this is the guy that we can take the big runs off. That last 10 overs going to the West Indies. Because of the 3 runs. I mean, 3 wickets, I should say. 65 for 3.
I have just one problem with this line that West Indies have chosen to bowl at this stage, especially Jason Holder. As we look at the last 10 overs, Chris Gayle getting that wicket. An important one. And then contributing to this run out. Although you've got to say Afghanistan kept their belief and still scored at 6 runs and over. 6.5 to be precise. They slapped this line outside the off stump. So clean bowl is gone and leg before is gone. So against a team like Afghanistan, you might want to attack the stumps a little more. I can understand a superior batting side. You don't want to take that chance. But against Afghanistan, got to have a line of attack where you want to save the runs and look for those wickets as well. Especially when you're in the latter half of their innings.
Well, I don't think the shot sort of really finding the offside is out of the question either. Given there's a wide line again. You've got Roach at a... Well, he's even finer than 45. 41 done, 226 for 5.
My life, my pride, and I've earned it. Blender's Pride Fashion Tour.
792 मेरा क्रेडिट स्कोर और आपका पैसाबाजार.com पे अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर फ्री में चेक करो कम है तो ठीक करो कभी लोन की जरूरत पड़ी तो काम आएगा पैसाबाजार.com
So 86. That first big over has not occurred just yet. And the way Kimo Roach is bowling, it's going to be hard to take him down big style. There you go, dot ball. There's your seam up to start with. Now we can bring in the slow ball, and that's effective. But the slow ball is really effective if you've got good pace to start with.
Both of us didn't bowl fast or gave off a long run up and bowl seam, but every time you see a fast bowler start his spell or is over, the first ball is generally normal speed. So I guess somewhere they want to bowl their comfort delivery, get a bit of rhythm going, first ball, and then the second one is generally the slow delivery.
Or of an effort. Yeah, no, I used to steam in, Sands. You got it wrong. I used to steam in, sprinted in. And then that first ball the batsman faced, they said, oh, that's his slow ball. And then the second ball, I would steam in, and the second ball, they'd say, oh, that's a slow ball. Then they realised that was the stock fast punt. That was my attempt at a fast delivery. There was no
just
variant.
Steamed in, that's it.
Just steamed in.
The ball was...
The only advantage was my height. Sometimes they went underground. There was no extreme bounce. Look at all the bats. He's been doing that all afternoon, these West Indian players. They're obviously very relaxed and helping the kids out. It's a lovely gesture.
Yeah, this is really so thoughtful.
Just got to remember who owns them. There they are, all the kids there. Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh,
that's all you've got to do.
Is throwing their bats in. There you go, there's another one. There's going to be a whole pile of bats in a moment. Should be out. Hitmar takes the beauty. There has been an intensity lift with the fielding in the last little while.
When you take catches like this, the initial judgment of the ball is crucial. The moment the ball was smacked in his direction, he knew exactly where the ball was going. Sometimes that's where you make that big mistake. You come in too much or you stay back. Judged it to perfection and in the end made it quite simple for himself. So superb judgment the moment the ball was struck. Kimar Roach gets the wicket. Shinwari goes for 6. 227 for 6.
पानी पिलाना पुण्य का काम है, पर जब पता चले ये पानी एसिडिक है तो पानी से पंगा मत लो। हेवल्स अल्कलाइन वाटर प्यूरिफायर्स लो, जिसके अल्कलाइन वाटर टेक्नोलॉजी दे आपको हेल्थी और टेस्टी पानी। हेवल्स अल्कलाइन वाटर प्यूरिफायर्स, पानी से पंगा मत लो।
एक अच्छे बॉस को हमेशा अपने स्टाफ को खुश रखना ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। काम का क्या है, काम तो होता रहता है।
आक्रमण! अब कोई नहीं बचेगा। ये ले, तेरी मौत निश्चित है। ये ले, जिंदे इलाही।
Hotstar Specials presents The Office. 50% chill, 60% chill. Now streaming.
Right, new man in is Rashid Khan. He'll get a move on, there's no doubt at all. He'll want to leave an imprint on this World Cup. But it's Asghar in strike. He'll get the single. He's played a few whirlwind innings as Rashid Khan. They needed Samuel Shinwari to be around for a while. He's had to drag the ball from outside off. And that's why he didn't get the timing at all. We're watching Hetmeyer from above here. As soon as the ball was hit, Hetmeyer was into the sprint. That's what got him there. It's a good catch. Michael Holding's been saying all along, support your bowlers. This is a great example of that. Oh, will be called wide. By his own standards, it's been a quiet World Cup for Rashid Khan. He gets a quick 30-40 here. Asghar Stanikzai takes them home. Just 3 of the over so far. And that's how it will be. 8 to play, 2:29 for 6.
OnePlus 7 series and Amazon special.
Looking a little glum, isn't he? Maybe he thinks too that it's a little beyond reach now. How far was that? Can you make a case for the really wide to be 2 wides? Now, if you're playing the Fantasy League game, Shakib Al Hasan is still your favorite. You must have him in your side. 476 points is what he's earned. All the others, other than Stoke, single skill players. At this level, that is. Right, the angle was perfect to play that shot, and he's played it well. Asghar Afghan has hit another boundary. I've seen him play in 2 gears over the years. He'll block, and then suddenly he'll explode, and he's got that side to him. 78 now needed from 47.
You see so many batsmen, I think, whenever this angle is used, whether it be the right-arm bowler around the wicket or the left-arm over bowler, you see so many batsmen trying to hit this straight or maybe too square. This is fantastically played by the former captain. Now the fielder at extra cover has gone straighter.
You like the line of attack, though, from the bowler? Coming on an angle, almost trying to be left arm over. Now he needed support there. Fine legs inside the circle. It's a line that requires him to have fielders in front of the wicket. And so the fine leg boundary was on.
And that was a poor ball. That was too easy. With fine leg up to be bowling on leg stump.
He's got to be careful because he's got all his boundary riders either square or in front. He's got 4 fielders behind the circle. Short third man, backward point, 45 and backward square. They've got the runs for the over and they've still got 3 left. They've got to make this one count. Because really it's these two. Daulat Zadran can swing his bat. There's not a lot of batting to come. Strike rate's 107 at this World Cup. He's got one best of 35. He gets a 35 here today. Make for a very interesting finish. Well played. Find yourself at the non-strikers end when Asghar is going well. Lots of wickets to the slower ball. It's been a feature of this World Cup, actually. The tracks have been a little slower than a lot of us imagined. Look at this one too. Nothing from the ball. Hit it a little too hard, I think.
It went quickly, not as quickly as it would have done. I think it didn't maybe quite hit the meat of the bat. A little bit high up. It still had some pace on it.
They got 12 of the over eventually. Which actually represents a bit of a comeback for Jason Holder. It's 241 for 6 with 7 overs left.
आपको भी चश्मा लग गया?
मम्मा, आप पे चश्मा बनवा ही लो।
मुझे तो सब दिखता है।
पर आपको कैश प्राइस नहीं दिखता ना? फोन पे वाला QR यूज करो ना।
Pay with PhonePe QR code at any store and win up to ₹1,000 cashback. PhonePe, India's payments app.
Right, 71 of 7. Last over for Kemar Roach.
A good catch from Hetmai. He hasn't covered himself in glory in the field in this tournament. Previously, he's put down a couple of catches, but it was good of him to hold on to that. Batsman had to drag the slower ball, clever slower ball from Kemar Roach, who again has bowled well. 6 wickets in the tournament for him.
Finds the fielder. Well, good thing about that catch as well, Bish, it happened right in front of us here at short mid-wicket. As soon as a shot was played, he judged it well. He started running as soon as a shot was played. And I think that's what allowed him to get there in time and complete it. So often we see the last stage of the completion of a catch. It's what's gone into reaching there that's as important.
Yeah, I think for Hetma, we saw the graphic come up with his fielding stats for the tournament, and he's in the minors. So that tells you that he hasn't been at his best. I think he's athletic, and I think he has great potential to be an outstanding fielder. Now, Kemar Roach came in against South Africa in that rained-off game, bowled a couple of overs, 3 overs. Was left out for the next game. Bowled well against, I think it was India, with 3 wickets and another 3 here today. So it's been a good return for the senior statesman of the bowling attack.
Indeed. It's a 6.2 run chase, Bish, isn't it? 6.2 run chase. A bowler bowls at 3.6 and delivers you 3 wickets. That's gold. Kemar Roach with 2 deliveries left, 3 for 36.
I think it's important. Look, to be honest, you know, in Ireland he was coming off an injury, so he really only picked up a couple of wickets at nearly 100. In Bangladesh and India last year, he didn't bowl well at all in ODIs. Been a great test bowler. But if he can continue this in ODIs, it helps the West Indies because Cottrell is now cemented his place. O'Shane Thomas is still a work in progress. So the West Indies need to find, for me, Harsha, a couple of death bowling options, primarily guys who can bowl Yorkers, who have a feel for change of pace and length at the end of the game to telling effect. Obviously, they need a wicket-taking spinner. So those are the things in the next 4 years. The next World Cup is where? In India? That's where the management have to work hard domestically.
Outstanding over to finish an outstanding spell. Just 3 runs from it, 6 to play, 68 to get 244 for 6.
छोटे छोटे लम्हों का अनोखा सफर, कमला पसंद, अनोखा स्वाद।
हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हुए नहीं कि बिल का मीटर चालू, ये मीटर तेजी से आपकी सारी सेविंग्स खत्म कर देगा। तो आज ही policybazaar.com पे जाओ, 5 लाख का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लो सिर्फ 500 रुपए महीने।
West Indies will look back with regret that he wasn't at his best or didn't get the opportunities earlier.
Right, he's going off the field. Kemar Roach. I think Nigel Long had a word with him. Yes, it's Kemar Roach who's going off. Nigel Long had a word with him. I don't think you just finish your spell and go away. So I think he's told him I'll be back in a while. 68 from 6. They need a 15-18 run over just to put it back on track, and then maybe another one to be able to target this. They've got to go for it. There's nothing to lose here for Afghanistan from here. 68 from 36. They haven't won a game in this World Cup. Brathwaite's been expensive. 6 overs, 41. Right, 6 overs left. Right, Bish, how would you finish? Let's see what options he has. That's Jason Holder. He's got loads of options. How would you be finishing? Cottrell, Thomas, a little bit of Thomas?
Well, you've got to go with Cottrell, who has 3 more. So depending on how well he bowls, because he's been the go-to death bowler as well as new ball bowler in this tournament. No. So once Cottrell is fit, I'd be surprised if he is not one of the guys. But I think O'Shane Thomas was taking his hat off to bowl the over that Carlos Brathwaite is now bowling. So I don't know if there was a change of mind to get O'Shane Thomas to bowl from this Kirkstall Lane end next over.
Right, the fielder coming underneath. This could be it. The catch is taken, bang on the edge of the boundary line. The batsman's waiting. He'd want the umpires to take a look. I think he's all right. So Asghar Afghan casts a wistful eye at the umpires and then begins his walk back. It's a good innings, 40 of 31, but really Afghanistan needed him to be batting till the end.
Hit the toe of the bat, I think. Yep, he had to reach for it, and that's why the power ran out as Jason Holder stood very close to the boundary line. Shouldn't be any problem with the no ball. But as long as Jason Holder's foot did not touch the boundary rope, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it's a big boot, but safely inside the rope. Good to have the tall man out there. 244 for 7.
ओए क्या देख रहा है कबड्डी अबे इसमें क्या है टच ही तो करना है ले कर लिया टच कबड्डी 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 कबड्डी
देखना ये है कि क्या रेडर को विशाल भारद्वाज रोक पाएंगे और क्या
चलना टच ही तो करना है देखा वीवो प्रो कबड्डी स्टार्स 20 जुलाई ओनली ऑन द स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क एंड हॉटस्टार इससे टफ कुछ नहीं
Right, just a single. Right, so Carlos Brathwaite comes back, picks up the wicket that they want. Bish is in the commentary box. Bish and Brathwaite could be a long-running West End show.
Man, I get enough stick for that, Harsha, without you stirring it up again.
Stick?
I do.
Stick? I thought it was a good combination. I was just saying get onto the West End. Bish and Brathwaite. I can imagine I'd go around as a cheerleader selling the tickets. Bish and Brathwaite. It's got a nice ring to it. It's a good catch, though. It's a good catch, got the toe end of the bat. Why would you not want to do it?
I think Brathwaite, over the last couple of years, the West Indies haven't identified or didn't identify that death bowler. And simply because of his improvement in T20 cricket, obviously a different format of bowling at the end of the innings in the CPL. Because in the absence of those quality death bowlers, he's the one that put up his hand and said, look, I can perhaps do that job at the end, because there weren't really many other options. He's lost a little bit of pace. He was never quick, but he's lost a little bit of pace as well. So in the middle of the innings now, he's become little effect to his disappointment. But in theory, his job was this.
But it might have got another. Goes over. If it goes over, Jason Holder, it's a good hit. 6'7" on the boundary. You've got to really hit it hard to clear it. Now this is interesting because Brathwaite's trying almost exclusively to bowl the ball just inside the tram line, bowl full Yorkers. He's missed 3, and when he's gone a little short, he's conceded 6.
And it was an attempted slow ball wide of the off stump as well. He rolled the fingers down the back, but he gave the length. I think he's got to change up the length and not be as predictable, just full and wide. Well bowled that time.
I do believe as a team, if you're Afghanistan and you're coming and play on the world stage, you're playing 9 games, you might go back with no points. If they score some today, that's great, but you've got to look at the positives. This is now the highest score in a World Cup game. There you are in the slot. And in this case, the slot was the batsman's slot. Now, has he played that wide enough of the fielder? He hasn't. Sheldon Cottrell takes the catch. And I'm afraid it's all coming to an end for Afghanistan. It was a really good chase till about the 40th, 35th, 40th over.
I'm glad to see Cottrell redeem himself today. He's been brilliant throughout the entire World Cup, apart from the soft catch he put down earlier. I know that'll disappoint him. And he will just feel a lot better now that he's taken this one. His standards are high. Zadran goes for 1, 2.55 for it. It was nice that Sheldon Cottrell, who's become something of a cult figure if you follow his Twitter account, he's teaching all sorts of little kids to salute. And Fabian Allen, his fellow Jamaican, just came across after he took the catch and gave him his own salute.
So it does look like the West Indies will pick up a couple of points here. But if I was Afghanistan, I'd look to see the positives that came out of this campaign. Here's someone playing a very young man. Only his second game, Syed Shirzad. So Brathwaite's got a third wicket, but this is really Brathwaite to Rashid. Thomas, rather. Start of a new over.
Yeah, well, Brathwaite changed his length to Zadran. You could say it was probably a length ball that could have disappeared, but I'm glad that he changed the length and it wasn't just predictable full on wide. Keep the batsman guessing the lower order, and there we go. Fabian Allen. Salute to you, sir.
I like this side of our game. We must have characters in our game. Sheldon Cottrell is one of the characters of our game. As it happens, he's also a very good bowler. That, of course, comes first. But you need to have these characters. I mean, I can imagine Sheldon Cottrell today, after what's happened in the World Cup, walking around somewhere in Dubai, maybe if he's playing in the leagues there, or coming across to India, maybe somewhere in Australia, and someone in the stands is giving him a salute. Doesn't take away from the game. It's just nice.
Well, Asha, it's not rude. It's not... There's no aggro in his celebration. I've said it before and I'll say it again. And those are the nice things about the game. There are some celebrations that are in your face, trying to get in the batsman's face. That's not Cottrell. So I have no problem with that one. I'm not a big celebration man. I wouldn't do it myself, but I think Cottrell's is harmless.
I think one of the reasons over the years, even when the West Indies were demolishing everybody in the world, and thereafter they were a little bit in decline, they remained everybody's second team maybe. One of the reasons is the manner in which... Got it, got dropped! Got one, got two, dropped the third. There've been some simple catches put down. Nicholas Puran. Give him the gloves.
Would I dare say that's another area that in the coming years or months and years that the West Indies need to get someone that improves their fielding. It's not only in this World Cup, it's in Ireland. It's been a couple of tours now this has been happening. They're not the only team, mind you, in this World Cup. But too many have gone down.
Oh, that's not a bad shot. Well done. Shirzad. He's enjoying it. He had a smile too. Good cricket everywhere. 260 for 8.
You're all thinking the same thing. Do I have what it takes? Stories.
There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story.
Come home to the biggest blockbusters and the world's greatest shows. On Star Movies, Star World, and Fox Life. Call your DTH or cable operator now to subscribe to the Star Value Pack, English Light, for only 15 rupees.
Right, 52 of 24. Kim Roach is back. Nigel Long will be happy. Brathwaite 3 for 52. Rashid, man capable of playing the big shots when he connects. It's been that kind of day for Rashid. This was after he hit the boundary, but there was just that very innocent little smile saying, did I really hit that shot? Yes, he's got that radar going now. This is the ball he was trying to bowl all of the previous over. It's just to complete the point about the West Indies. Even in the West Indies in decline, remained a very popular side simply because of the manner in which they play the game. You don't get too much, hardly any sledging, none at all. In fact, most times, there's always a bit of a smile. Cottrell's added to it. He sliced that and Holder will complete it again. Bang on the edge. Once again, the umpires will not have a look, but Rashid is turned back. Brathwaite's going to have another against his name.
It's a good tactical move by the captain himself. Don't know who's taller between himself and Brathwaite, but you position the tallest or second tallest man down in that high traffic area. It's not an error from Jason Holder. He knows a number of hits are going to be coming in that direction, and it's safe. A fourth wicket for Carlos Brathwaite. Third 4-wicket haul in ODIs. Rashid Khan goes for 9, 260 for 9.
क्या कबड्डी देख रहा है यार?
अरे मत ना यार, इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है।
इसमें क्या पॉइंट है? ये देख इधर।
अरे साइड। कबड्डी 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 कबड्डी।
पॉइंट्स की सख्त जरूरत है राहुल चौधरी को। पूरी टीम का भार इनके कंधों पर।
अपना तगड़ा कर ले पाने की तैयारी।
पूरे 6 पॉइंट की रेस।
Now Mujib get a single. As the Afghanistan supporters will be a touch disappointed. Couple of games against India, against Pakistan, just needed that little bit more. Got themselves into good situations. Once again, a low full toss. I've seen Kyron Pollard do this a lot in the IPL. The tallest man, he stands at long on. Now another one goes up in the air. But this one's got enough on it to clear the two tall men there. It clears by a distance, so Shirzad's hit a 4, now he's hit a 6. Oh, there's still some bullets left in there.
Yeah, there's still a team with a lot of spirit, Afghanistan, and I hope that they've taken a lot more self-belief out of this World Cup.
Well, he'll keep strike. Eventually 8 of the over, but a wicket. 268 for 9.
You know, some people will say they haven't won a game, and that is fair. They would have been disappointed in that regard, but things were going so far downhill for them that the last 3 or 4 games where they competed certainly with the ball and came close against India, and 1 or 2 more games they bowled well against Bangladesh. They competed against Pakistan here. That should just cause hope to remain.
Look at the early years of any team that's developing. In most recent years, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh get into good positions, but closing it is a different skill. And they've managed to do it. Sri Lanka then went on, won a World Cup. Period 2009 to 14, with 3 finals, became a wonderful side. Bangladesh have a very good core of players now. Does take time. And I think that is a path Afghanistan need to see. It's a great story. Remember, 2008-9, they're in Division 5. Nobody makes that progress as quickly as Afghanistan have made. But they will hit a plateau at this level. The good thing for Afghanistan is that as the senior players move away, the Nabis and the Shanwaris and the Afghans, the progress will then lie in the younger players coming through. And from that point of view, they've got Rashid, Mujib, Ikram today, very good, Rahmat Shah. There's a nice little core forming after the senior players start to move away, as they inevitably must. I think it's something a team like Ireland. Ireland had a really solid core. Trent Johnston, the O'Brien brothers. Fall short. Another team that needed that younger lot to come through. Afghanistan have that.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Ikram today. He batted at 3 at critical times last year in the Under-19 World Cup. So to see his gravitation to 3 today and not being overawed by it, I was in doubt whether he'd be overawed by it, but he wasn't.
4 will beat the fielder inside the circle. Now Mujib gets amongst the runs. He's brought it down to 39. Might only be 14 left. They're not just blocking balls out or mishitting. They said we'll go for everything. It's good to see. And here's something interesting. At the same point, the West Indies, 272. Afghanistan, 273.
Well, O'Shane Thomas has been given the opportunity to bowl at the death here in this game. Still yet to hit the mark. When he's gone full, I'm sure he's been searching for a couple of Yorkers. He's been short of it. So it tells you that there's some shaping that needs to be done in that regard.
Also about 4 to 5 kilometers an hour slower. Looked for the Yorker. .48 gone, 275 for 9.
क्या कबड्डी देख रहा है यार? अरे मत ना यार, इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है.
इसमें क्या पॉइंट है? ये देख इधर.
अरे साइड में. कबड्डी 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 कबड्डी.
पॉइंट्स की सख्त जरूरत है राहुल चौधरी को. पूरी टीम का भार इनके कंधों पर.
अपना तगड़ा कर ले पाने की तैयारी.
पूरे 6 पॉइंट की रेड.
पॉइंट समझा क्या?
देखा?
Vivo Pro Kabaddi starts 20th July. Only on the Star Sports Network and Hotstar. इससे tough कुछ नहीं.
Brathwaite could make it a 5 for you. What fun if it's caught Chris Gayle at the end. He's come into that wide slip position. Certainly the last time you'll see Chris Gayle on the field in a World Cup. He's just said he's going to continue playing one-day internationals. What have West Indies taken out of this World Cup, Bish?
Sheldon Cottrell, for one, his development, and it's only last year that he started playing more 50-over cricket regularly. Most of what he's done was T20 cricket. Nicholas Puran, absolute tops. I think his development has gone to a level.
Just a single.
I'd like to see Fabian Allen work his way up the batting order, because Fabian Allen is really a batsman who bowls a little bit. Hetmeyer has had starts, but he hasn't kicked on, but he had 3 ODI hundreds. That's Fabian Allen. I want to see him work his way up the batting order, as he showed against Sri Lanka. He's a dangerous batsman. His spin is really an add-on.
This is Afghanistan's highest score, batting second in a one-day international. I think there's so much promise in the West Indies batting. The question is, will the promise get converted into international class? I think sheer hope is there already. It's just a question of taking his game to the next level. Happy for Evan Lewis today. Will fall short of Jason Holder. I think there's so much ability in Shimron Hetmyer. So much ability. Can he just play 80 ball innings, 100 ball innings? O'Shane Thomas is on his way. So even though by numbers, Bish, this has been the worst World Cup for the West Indies in terms of number of matches won, it's a question of where they go with this team that matters. Oh, down on his knees, Brathwaite. Could it have been a 5? For the chance is gone. It's 278 for 9. Just an over left.
Yeah, well bowled, Carlos Brathwaite. He got 100 as well in this World Cup, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Sorry. Yeah, you're looking to pick things out of the ashes. So you're taking, okay, the disappointment is obvious, everyone knows about it, but I think there are enough things to build a nucleus going forward.
For 63, and you look at that ball and say, was there a little bit of blue of that paint on that ball? Well, Bish said he's asked to bowl the tough overs. He's volunteered to bowl the tough overs. Today it's come off. Some days it won't. It's always a tough gig. And there's yet another glorious summer day coming to an end with people all wrapped up.
Much better as Gale gets a round of applause. Much better from O'Shane Thomas. 2 Yorkers, I think 1 to end the last over. I've often wondered if I could carry out an experiment by picking a youngster at home in the Caribbean and just getting bowling Yorkers at practice sessions for a couple of months. Just Yorkers.
Bish, your kind of summer in mind.
Behave yourself. It's not that cold. Why he's got that to me?
Of course it is. But you make a valid point about the lengths and the development of young fast bowlers, of which I'm sure there are plenty in the Caribbean.
Yeah, I just want to see what will happen, because we grew up all seamers bowling maybe 80-90% length at practice, length ball, slower deliveries. I just wonder if we could get someone to work like Malinga, to work like Jasprit Bumrah, and really cement the Yorkers, ingrain it into their muscle memory over a long period. I'd be keen to see what happens.
We'll clear the infield. There's another boundary. You might think there's no competitive interest left here. Shirzad is going to go back and say, you know what, I batted in a World Cup game, and this is what I did. I hit 2 4s and a 6. First time he's batting in a one-day international. It's good to see that somebody coming in at 9-10 is not a bunny.
I don't think he's a bad bowler either. He's under construction.
Plus he's left arm over, so there's always that angle. I like the fact that he's enjoying being in the middle. Yes, it is you, it is you, it is you on the big screen, yes! Oh, the things you come to a cricket ground, you come to watch good cricket and then you see yourself on the big screen. Right, you can give us a wave too. There we go. How about you, ma'am? Lots of bat on it. He's going down with a flourish, as young Shirzad. Second 6. 24 needed now of 1 ball. Can he finish with yet another 6? I mean, he came here this morning saying it's Afghanistan versus West Indies. There's not a lot at stake. It's been a good game. Last ball coming up. Puts back to ball again, and the catch is taken. Oh, what a way to finish. Fabian Allen. It might be the last ball of the match, but oh, you've got to love this. You absolutely have got to love this.
He is brilliant. He is going to be must-see TV in a few years. I've seen him take some spectacular catches. That is just another one to put in his highlights reel. I can think of a number of other fielders who would have just chased this down to retrieve it. Brilliant, mid-air, almost parallel. Superb, not for the first time.
What I love about it, it's the last ball. The game's over, you might think, but that's what you hear commentators say so often, play for pride. I think that's what it was. Well done, Fabian Allen. You've given us a nice little end and given the West Indies campaign in this World Cup a nice little end, winning by 23. Chris Gayle might be saying goodbye. Fabian Allen's ended it on a real high. 288, West Indies win by 23.
What does it take to be a shot maker? To step up to the crease, onto this stage we call life, and make the shot no one else can. Oppo, be a shot maker.
This broadcast is co-presented by OnePlus, PhonePe, Havels, making a difference, and Kamla Pasand, Anoka Swat, in association with Coca-Cola, PolicyBazaar.com, Byju's, the learning app, Cadbury Dairy Milk, Oppo Renault, Dream 11, MRF Tires, Uber, Shivas Win the Right Way, Amazon Prime, PaisaBazaar.com, Parle Milano Premium Cookies, Mutual Fund, Sahi Hai, and Samsung QLED 8K.
So Chris Gayle gives the crowd a wave, gives the Afghanistan players a hug. It's just him to do that. The West Indies might have lost to Afghanistan the final of the qualifiers, but Gayle was there celebrating with Shehzad and everybody. And that's what you really want to see. Tremendous spirit. With the West Indies, you always get it, but West Indies, Afghanistan, their last games of the World Cup, what fun it's been to be here. Those two get along pretty well too. And for the players from Afghanistan to say we're around when Chris Gayle finished in a World Cup. Nice.
I think for whatever it's worth, I think you want to see whichever country, when your great players historically, when you're excellent players, guys who have played so well for you, you want to see them end their careers, and it has to be a collaborative effort between the player and administration in a celebration. You don't want to see it end otherwise.
So the West Indies and Afghanistan came here, seemingly a dead rubber. And you know how it is with dead rubbers. They've given us a good game here. There's been a lot of encouragement. There's been lots of good cricket in this game today. That's been what it is. Rahmat Shah, some really exquisite shots, 62. Ikram Ali Khail, we're going to hear a lot about this man, 86. Asghar Afghan, another player in the evening of his career, coming up and hitting 40 of 32. Shehzad at the end, 25 of 17. They got to 288, their highest score, batting second.
Good work again by Kemar Rhodes, 3 for 37, his second 3-wicket haul of this World Cup. 4 wickets for Carlos Brathwaite, 4 for 63. A wicket for O'Shane Thomas. He's still working himself into a good product at this level. Time is on his side, and Gayle 1 wicket and shadowed a crucial run out.
So we had, how many drawn sessions? We had 1 drawn sessions in phase rather. Each team won 2 phases, but the scoreboard is showing the West Indies won by 23. And eventually that is what matters. 288 is what Afghanistan got. The West Indies, of course, batted first, 311, and Afghanistan 288. Hope the top scorer with 77, but some very good efforts from Puran and Holder. And so that's where we are at the points table. The first two teams to have, well, the third and fourth teams have finished their league engagements. West Indies finished with 5. Afghanistan couldn't quite get points on the board, but as we've been telling you, there've been some performances to remember from Afghanistan as well. There's some big games coming up still, though. Theoretically, Pakistan can still make it. That's for another day, though. For the moment, let's go down to Sanjay Manjrekar.
Mark Arthur, CEO Yorkshire County Cricket Club, will present the Player of the Match award today. So welcome, thank you very much. You've got the award with you, and it will go to Shea Hope, who is the Player of the Match. 77 of 92. If I can ask you to present that award to Shea Hope. 6 4s and 2 6s in what was a wonderful innings from Shea Hope. Thank you very much, sir. Right, you were what we call the glue, isn't it? In the mid-innings chat that we had, you held the innings together and then the others put it into sort of overdrive.
Yes, well, you just explained it.
But you have to say something.
Yeah, it's just important that we got that score on the board. We knew they had some pretty decent spinners, so the key was to bat them out basically and make sure you have that impetus going into the back end of the innings.
So tell us about your overall performance right through the tournament. 3 good knocks, few setbacks. So just your own review of your performance.
Yeah, well, it's not where I would like to be, honestly. I want to be as consistent as possible. I didn't think that I gave the team enough runs, but having said that, it's a learning experience. Hopefully I can take it forward from here.
But today was a good innings. It's always nice to finish on a note like this, considering there's some international cricket coming.
Yeah, most definitely. As I say, as a batter, you want to score as many runs as you can. So it's just nice to finish on a high, and hopefully I can continue this form and lead into the next series.
Well, congratulations on the award and the win as well.
Thank you.